Hey, 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 welcome to the Tech-Mex Podcast. We're your hosts, Eric and Mando. This is episode 96, number 96. We're bringing you the top stories of Bitcoin, tech, and wealth so you can too also develop your own simulation. Dale.
All right, so we are getting close to the 100th episode, huh? That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's climbing. Keep climbing. You got to keep going.
Watch out, Mr. Beast.
Man, we're only at 96. Just give us till we get to 200. You'll see.
So, what do we got?
So it's been a couple of weeks since we talked to y'all. Mando was at Burning Man, had a lot of fun out there.
Every year.
I actually did a national park tour over by Vegas. Actually, I was nearby you. But we were so we haven't talked in a couple of weeks. So there's actually a few things that did come up that I thought was pretty cool and worth checking out. So did you hear about Google's Genie 3?
No, man. I
Oh
have
my
been
God,
in
I
the.
haven't heard
I
of
was.
1 or 2.
I was in the middle of the desert.
You and me. I hit up Death Valley too, but so apparently I don't know if this is like the successor to VO, right? They were working
Okay.
on VO 3 where we were getting all these cool commercials and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But Genie 3 you're able to build basically like worlds based off of a picture, and you can navigate through these worlds. So think about it, it's like a video game essentially. So I've got let me share this quick clip that I saw that just shows a little bit about how I guess how it works. Let's see, I'm going to turn the sound on. All right. So basically, you can see here that it looks like a hurricane or something, but
Yeah.
essentially, you see down here, the bottom left of the screen right here, it's got like these navigations. So
that we are set to get GPT.
You can tell it like where to walk within this picture. This was generated from a picture, and it starts generating video based off of your picture. So this is like live, and you can control it. So this is like their next iteration of VO3 is basically you've got an interactive world
Mm-hmm.
that you can go through.
That's pretty cool. I have been thinking that maybe the next generation of entertainment will be close to gaming. So you have maybe, let's say that you're watching a show, right? Whatever show, and suddenly you are getting kind of bored of what you're seeing. Uh, then you start just going around from different perspectives, different lighting to explore the image where you're seeing, right? So it's almost like a game, right? Like the kind of the 3D world, and I feel that that's coming now with this generation of video. The technology is there for you to be able to choose your own adventure, basically.
Yeah, definitely. I can't wait to see who's gonna create the first kind of video game based off of this because it's super realistic. It looks very real, and the way you can control it. I mean, your feet moving, you can point where you're looking at, and things like that. It all looks super realistic. And so this is going to be very interesting for, I think, the current video game manufacturers. Like, one, how do they integrate it? Like, if someone wants to do more of a real world looking game, and it doesn't have to even be real world. It can be something completely like replacing like maybe some of the game engine that they currently use in their video games.
Yeah, there are a
Looks really good.
couple companies that, if they start integrating with, it's called Unreal, or they're like the Gazebo is the other one, the gaming engine. Uh, they they basically do the majority of the games underneath. They're running on top of that. So we'll see how it turns out. But yeah, it's moving very fast, and it's very good. The pictures that they created,
Yeah,
just based on the one image.
definitely looks really good. I tried to see if I could get access to it. Right now, it seems that it's not opened up for everybody, so I can't go and use it and show you guys kind of how it works necessarily. But there's tons of videos out there showing people actually generating these worlds, and it's basically it can be endless, right? You don't have
Yeah.
to program a specific level of a game. It's basically starts off on one thing, and the AI takes care of where it goes. So
The,
pretty
the other
interesting here.
the other part that is interesting is how the society will take it, because you have like different gaming like Minecraft and Roblox that they can have better quality, but they just like the low fidelity, almost very
Mhm.
pixel alike. So it will be interesting to see if society prefers more realistic or more actually tending into not being realistic. We'll see. We'll see how that turns out.
Good point. And I, probably the whole point of this technology is you get to pick whatever you want. That's what you're gonna see. And so that's really cool. Even the same game can have multiple views, just depending on who's using it. Right? You say I prefer realistic. You might prefer anime, and same game but different look. It can all be done in essentially real time, just based on your preferences. A lot of possibilities here. Very cool. So I thought that was something fun to point out. We'll keep you guys posted on some of the updates that we have for that. Uh, but what's also pretty interesting here is that they also had another release. I was like, man, Google's on a roll. I don't know. I don't know if it was a summer release, but did you hear? Did you hear about Nano Banana?
No. So I was thinking when you told me that, it's like, are they like creating like bananas that are nanotechnology?
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought it was like, okay, is this the banana zone that we've been talking about for Bitcoin? No, it's not that. I'm not sure how they came up with the Nano Banana name, but it's basically another AI generation, image generation tool. Okay. And I'm just showing you kind of a picture here. You might have a picture of your dog. You can tell Nano Banana, hey, like make it a rainbow dog or whatever, and it'll change the dog. So it's essentially what a lot of people are likening it to is basically Photoshop, but it's you just tell it like it's natural language. You just tell it what you want, and it'll do it.
I feel that is more like a true graphic designer. It's like hey, modify these, because before with software, you needed to learn the software and how to modify it, all of the different tools and things like tactics and techniques. But now
Mhm.
with prompt, you can just use any language to say, hey, for sure you need to be descriptive, right? Because if not, you will confuse the AI. But if you're descriptive enough, now the AI will be able to do those modifications.
Exactly. And so just there's an example here that I'm showing on the screen. Someone showed a deck under construction, and you could tell it to render. So this is what architects usually might do for you if you're in a construction type project. But here you put in Nano Banana, and it just starts doing different renderings for you. Like, no, I want a brick facade. No, I want a black facade. No, I want a white facade. And you can just go through these and just look at the different the different generations it does. And the cool thing about Nano Banana is that this one is actually available for use for people in Gemini. So if you want to go give it a try, it's actually pretty cool, very easy to use. You can go start using it and see what you can actually edit. It doesn't like you could put your face, people's faces, like people in there, and
Mhm.
it works. So doesn't seem to be limited very much. I saw some videos of some folks put like Trump in there and put him looking all cool and stuff like that, and it didn't seem to have any problem with using like a known person's face, like a famous person's face. So pretty cool here. I know that's just going to lead to a lot of confusion. Like, is this real? Is this not real? I don't know. But the point is that this technology has really like it's gotten pretty cool
Very
very quickly.
soon, they probably will cancel that. I feel that maybe they haven't added the privacy and the security policies for the algorithm. So kind of sucks. But to be honest, there's always ways, right? Like somebody already
Sure.
will get the same algorithm. And I feel that it just technology keeps advancing. And even if the government tries to block, it's out there. The rabbit is out of the hat, right?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And there's a lot of people that run things locally. Like I've got
Mm.
the local home lab and running AI locally, so you can do stuff even if all of the more commercial AI image generation stuff might be locked down. The local open source stuff is not locked down, or you can make it not locked down, or you can find models that aren't, and you can do whatever you want. So pretty cool stuff here. So Nano Banana, go check it out. It doesn't like a lot of people are thinking, okay, so like it. The interesting thing is always goes back to jobs. Like, what's this going to do to my job? But you know what? Image generation at this point has been around for a, a good amount of time, right? It's been several years now that we've got image generation that's like okay, passable, and it hasn't. I mean, I'm sure it is impacting people and their jobs and things like that. But I think people are starting to maybe just integrate it into their workflows, and the people are adopting, learning how to use AI and learning to use these tools. And so maybe those are the folks that are starting to just get ahead. So it's just a reminder, like learn these
Um,
tools, start using the tools, and use them to your advantage.
I feel that when we see these images, the the workflow, the whole uh, chain of different businesses that they have to be involved is still there. Like AI is not doing everything. It's doing a render, but it's not truly doing the contracting or the PM of the project or the implementation or even actually doing the job, right? So there, and I get it. Sometimes maybe AI is going to try to eat up chunks, but it will be it's difficult at the moment to figure out, okay, what are the parts that that actually AI and robotics will not be able to do. In my opinion, I think that is going to boil into sometimes the cost. Like it might not be cost effective to buy a robot to do certain things, right? Like it's like it might be cheaper to be humans instead of robots, because maybe the robot is going to be 100K, right? Like, or whatever, right? If it's coming from Tesla, it might get cheaper, but you're talking about maybe 15, 20 years. So it's not as fast as people are thinking. Yeah, technology will arrive, but in order for us to like look at EVs, everybody was saying that most cars should be like EVs by 2025, and we are not even close, right? So
Yeah, that's true. It does take a while for the technology to permeate. The good thing is we will get like new iterations of things every so often, and it seems to be quicker and quicker. But the time for adoption, that does usually take a lot longer. But that just really creates an opportunity for you if you're the one that knows the new technology. You can be the one that helps bring it to either your job, your place of employment, or you're doing consulting, or you can do lots of different things, and help bring that adoption, close that gap, help people start using the newer technology. So this is a whole new area of expertise that uh, you only have a small group of people that are really experts at it right now, and just because it's so new, it's going to take a while for people to really become more and more familiar with it. So very cool here, Nano Banana. I like the name. It was pretty cool at first. Oh, by the way, if you go searching for it, you might see other websites that are called like Nano Banana or something like that. Be careful. That's not necessarily the Google's version. So just be aware. Like go to Gemini, you can get to it through there. Hey, so I know you were at Burning Man, and you may have not seen this, but I don't know. I think Tesla might be releasing a new cyber vehicle. By the way, did you see any Cybertrucks out there in
I just saw it as
Burning Man?
a. I did see a couple Cybertruck. I was like, what the heck? Because in the desert, like the sand, it was muddy, right? The truck is heavy. So it's like, man, this thing might get stuck, you know? But yeah, I did see a couple Cybertrucks in the desert.
Yeah, I actually saw one also at near Death Valley as well. It was parked. I didn't see the owner around there. I'm like, oh crap. Hopefully hopefully it didn't get stranded out there.
Did
It
you
was in
see
a
it
parking spot,
flipped?
so I think it was okay. Yeah. Well, in any case, as Cybertruck's getting put through its paces in these extreme environments, there was almost like I don't know if it was like a leak or like just an oopsie or what, but you can kind of see in this picture that I'm showing This vehicle, you can kind of see these red triangles. This is courtesy of someone from Cybertruck Owners Club. They pointed this out over here. You could see this model. This is not a real truck here. This is just a model on a shelf, and it zoomed in here of what looks like could be like a cyber
A
themed
cyber van, a
SUV
cyber
or a
van.
van, something like that. But it looks like they've at least over at Tesla thought about what this could look like. This was part of, I think, like a promotional video by Tesla. They were actually showing this clay model here up front, but you could see these little models on the shelf back there. So that's what kind of started all of this talk
Mhm.
about. Hey, is there a new model coming out here? Like, what is the what's the deal here? Like, are they going to release this, or is this just are they teasing people?
Dude, I dislike vans. I know that there's some people that they like them, right? They are functional, but it's like I feel that if I have a van, it's like my balls were taken out and just.
So you're not a minivan dad?
Oh shit, no man! It's like I'm a dad, but not a minivan.
Well, not really my thing either. I think I prefer the truck, but I drove a minivan when I was like, when was that?
So your
Like
balls were taken
one
off.
of my first years in college, out of necessity, right? Didn't have
Out of
didn't have
necessity.
access to something else. Like, well, I need something. So
What do you
I
mean out of
drove it
necessity?
was a Ford Aerostar. I'm telling you, like this thing. Anyways,
From all of the
that
cars.
only lasted for a little while, but I would tell you, we would all be able to pile in there for parties. We could get like 10 people in there. We all go to a party. It's like, all right, that part was cool. So they are useful. You can pack a lot of people, crap, whatever into them. So, but Cybertruck, you can probably do the same thing, right? Well, so this whole thing obviously set off like this. A lot of talk online. Okay, hey, is this going to happen? Is this a real thing? Maybe it's Tesla's just trying to see, is there an appetite for something like this? I will tell you, I saw that the Rivian, right? Rivian has a
Mhm.
truck also, right? Another EV truck. But they also have their the R1S, I think is their SUV. And actually their SUV sells better than their EV truck. And I think a lot of car companies, just in general, have introduced SUVs because they do tend to sell so well. Like even
Mhm.
Ferrari has an SUV, right? Lamborghini has an SUV, and a lot of times these vehicles outsell their like just normal sports car vehicle. So Tesla could be looking at this and saying, "Hey, like all these other car companies have had success with uh, an SUV or maybe a van or something. Maybe it's something that they're looking into also."
Who knows? Sometimes it's like it would be genius if they just planted it to like very subtle, just put in there. I don't know. I'm in the camp of like they just are always playing with different ideas, things like that. They just were models and it's just maybe right. We'll see. We'll see if we hear more about it. But it's interesting how when they already have their following, how
Mhm.
these type of things are always like people watching what they're doing, right?
That's
Uh,
true.
but talking about Tesla, though, the robot taxis is expanding, so it just continues to keep growing and growing. So kudos for them.
Yeah, that's true. I know they're starting to open it up. I think further beyond just Austin. I think so.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool,
And
and
by the
it's good
way,
news. It shows that it's getting better.
talking about Elon and Tesla and Burning Man, they actually somebody they don't know actually who did it. There was a group of people. They were wearing masks and they put a sign that says "Fuck you, Elon."
Already at Burning Man,
At
like
Burning
outside of
Man.
a camp, or like at the entrance, or what?
Usually, the majority of the art pieces they put it on the center of the esplanade and the
Mm-hmm.
playa,
Mm-hmm.
and there was that sign, kind of very far from most of the things, but it's big. It's like made of metal, and they did it so fast. Usually it takes days, like even with a crew and machines,
Hmm.
because again, it's a desert, right? So these guys, they just like dump it the sign, and they just run in like in less than an hour. And and again, it takes a while, and the sign is big, right? So
How big? Well, how big was it?
ah, it's because it's like a kind of two floors. I'll say maybe 5 feet, 5 6 feet
Hmm.
tall. No more than that. 12. It would be like 12 feet. So
Okay.
because the letters were almost the size of a person, maybe
Oh,
six
like a
feet.
person. Oh, okay.
6 feet, and then the other one, so about 12, 15 feet. And then it became one of the attraction. By the way, this sign, they call it rock. It's a rock sign because was not approved.
Oh, like it was not registered as an art
Was not
piece or something like
registered,
that.
was not approved. And then the Burning Man crew is like, what should we do with this freaking sign?
Like, la, let it stay.
So they let it stay, but they were worried because they didn't bolt it. Usually they bolted, they put lights just to make sure this one
Hmm.
was not bolted, and but no, it was so heavy and so big that
Hmm.
actually didn't flip with the winds. Obviously, I took a picture.
Did you do a selfie like?
Obviously, I did a selfie. I'm not sure if I should tag Elon.
That's so funny. Well,
The legend, though, says that maybe it's Elon himself that he did that because he was there. They said
oh,
that
he
it was.
was there
I
this
didn't
year.
see him,
Hmm.
but they said that he was there. The other one that they have been saying is that maybe it's his brother. Um, that
Playing a
actually,
trick on him.
dude, that will be the ultimate trolling. You know, like your brother just put it. Fuck you, Elon.
That's hilarious. Well, you know, I guess they've got the means to do it, but that's. I mean, it's all in good fun. It's art, right? At the
Sorry.
end of the day, free speech.
I don't know. Like it's like somebody has to have the resources to be able to do that, right? Because to even to do design and to do like all of that is it's a while, right? So let me
Mhm.
see if actually uh I can see if I can find the image, right? So uh but yeah, very quickly let me show you. So do you see
Oh man, that
that
thing looks. Yeah, I was envisioning something different.
it just says fuck you, Elon, man. That's it.
That
So
looks actually pretty cool. If
yeah,
I was
yeah.
Elon, I would ask to get that. And he put it like in his backyard or something.
If
That's
I
kind of
was
cool.
Elon, I would just take a picture just to troll. It's like right in his
Yeah,
alley,
that's cool.
like just himself, like "fuck you, Elon," and he's like,
He's like, yeah. That is a pretty cool pic, actually.
"Ah, my previous boss."
Yeah. All right. Well, so either way, Elon's cooking up some stuff here with these cyber SUVs. He's dropping these Easter eggs. Maybe it was that sign was Elon himself. You just don't
Who
know.
knows?
He likes to do things kind of in a mysterious way sometimes. But yeah, to your point about the robo taxi, it's expanding. I saw that they're expanding to be driving on the highways now too. So, but I think they did move. You know, there's the person that sits in the car with you on the robo taxi. They moved him from the passenger seat to actually the driver's seat. I'm not sure if it's just because of new regulation or because now they're starting to get onto the highway and things like that. Maybe it's a little riskier. They want someone in the driver's seat. Either way, there's some changes, but things are expanding. Seems to be headed in the right direction.
Hmm.
All right. Well, switching gears from one billionaire to another, uh, Michael Saylor with from MicroStrategy. There's been a lot of talk about him potentially trying to get into the S&P 500.
Hmm.
Have you heard? Have you heard much about this yet?
Yeah, but also I read that Robinhood beat them, right? So,
They got beat to the punch.
but I don't understand that part. I did not understood why will go down because Robin Hood beat him. So like that doesn't resonate with me. What's your
Yeah.
take there?
Well, I think more so people try to front run the news, right?
Hmm.
So they probably, a lot of people try to invest some money in anticipation of
The inclusion.
MicroStrategy being added into the S&P 500. And when it didn't happen, they just real quickly pulled their money out before people realized what happened, right? So they would at least make that little bit of money, right?
A little bit of a context for the audience because some people might not know. The S&P 500 is the index where it represents kind of I don't want to say the biggest, but the most important, I guess, was the 500 more representative companies of the United States economy. And it's a big deal when a company gets added into that group because international money also is able to invest. I am personally a bit worried that it's becoming too techy. That's the reason why we have Nasdaq, because it's basically more for technology. But now the S&P 500, it used to be your DuPont, your companies like that, General Electric, companies that they have different products, John and Johnson, things like that, right? That they were like more in a basket of different stocks. But now it's getting very heavy as well on tech. So and now that we see Robinhood, uh, and maybe I feel that in some point also MicroStrategy might get into that as well. But yeah, that's my only worry.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. It could be a little bit tech heavy. A lot of people's portfolios are tech heavy right now. I mean, that's just what's making the news right now, right? AI, Bitcoin, crypto, mining. There's a lot of these big companies. I mean, it's a lot of that. So I mean, that's a good point though. I mean, some people say yes, diversification is super important. Spread your money around. Others say, well, if you don't have conviction, that's what you end up doing,
Well,
diversification. If you know you're right, then put your
and
money where your mouth is, right? So there's different approaches.
another said that diversification is for idiots.
Yeah.
So
So
if you hear everyone, it's a sum zero game, right? Like there's gonna be contrasting opinions. So I think that is just more for people to truly try to understand themselves and what the strategy resonates. I have I have friends that they are like very cautious. They don't invest in tech, and they're doing well. So, and I also know friends that they're all like techie and crypto, and,
YOLO.
and they're doing well. So there is a saying in Wall Street that bulls make money, bears make money, and pigs get slaughtered.
Mhm.
Don't be a pig.
That's true. Don't be a pig. Yeah, that's true. Well, so and just a little bit more context about like what's a big deal about getting into the S&P 500, right? In general, we've been working up towards Bitcoin and crypto becoming more of a legitimate investment place for all of these for big companies, treasuries, for pension funds, things like that, states investments, federal investment, other countries investing. So what happens if you get listed as part of the S&P 500? There's a lot of current um, people or companies or institutions that by default invest in the S&P 500. So if MicroStrategy gets added to the S&P 500, then that means uh, all of these other companies and investment firms will automatically essentially be investing into Bitcoin and into crypto. So it'll become part of everybody's investment strategy essentially. And so, that just means there's probably going to be less crypto Bitcoin to go around, makes it more scarce, makes it more desirable, and ultimately makes the price go up.
I I was not
That's the thought behind it.
I was not aware of the different rules though. So one of the rules is the profit rule, which historically they have to, and that's a challenge to for any company. And basically, in 2025, they mark that 10 billion net worth on an income for Q2, which kind of that's an strict requirement to be able to be part of the S&P. So I mean, kudos for them.
Yeah, that's a great point. You can't just decide one day, hey, I want to be in the S&P 500,
Yeah.
and you just apply and you get in. They do have some requirements, right? So the fact that MicroStrategy, being one of the main treasuries that's holding Bitcoin on their books, the fact that they've been able to meet these requirements to get into the S&P 500, they really have created a playbook for other companies to kind of do similar things. And it legitimizes this strategy, being able to say, well, now we're part of the S&P 500. This strategy works. People will start adding it to their treasuries, their own treasuries, and be able to join the big boys club there in the S&P 500. So that's a good point, Mando.
There is a mysterious comedy, right? Like even despite that you might have everything to be able to be part of it, there is a comedy, and that is just politics bullshit, right? You
It's
have
true.
to have a friend. You're part of the club. You have to have favors. I don't know. You're gonna be like in the freaking Epstein list.
You gotta be vetted. You gotta be vetted.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's true. So ultimately, right, it did not get added this time around. Not yet. I think most people think yes, it's going to happen. But yeah, you got to start whining and dining people. Michael Saylor's going to be busy inviting people to his yacht to see what he has
Yeah.
to do to get invited to the S&P 500.
It sounded like the kids. Are you familiar with Giat? No, it's
No.
basically like the booty. That's how they say Giat.
Okay, yeah, no, I've not heard of Giat.
Yeah, it's one of the lingos. It's like it's part of the. That's the reason why I think that this generation is gonna save America, man.
They understand the Giat.
No,
Okay.
no, it's because they're creative as fuck, man. It's like
Mm,
they just. This is the first time that I have seen like over a new stuff, right? Like usually
mhm,
you just saw the refurbish of the past previous generations, and these kids are like coming up with brand different like things that don't make any sense, but it's just sticking, right? And everybody
mhm.
says it. Yeah, but yeah, that's one of those, and it sounded like that.
They've got short attention spans, but creative words. All
um,
right.
the alpha is the alpha generation. Now it's coming up with the beta. That will suck, man. That you are beta generation.
Yeah, that's not a cool. Well,
No,
yeah, it is what it is. Maybe they can flip the script, right?
doubt it. Doubt
I
it.
doubt it. Well, even though Michael Saylor didn't this time around didn't like actually get into the S&P 500, he knows eventually what will happen, and he's been touting, look, we've got 90% annualized returns. Like, come on now.
Dude,
And you got the $10 billion. What was the profit? I mean,
dude,
in second quarter Q2. So it's gonna happen. It's just like just be aware of it. And here's the thing: these types of things, this type of news always comes out, and people that are aware of what's going on, they will put their money in and let other people start talking about it. The money starts rising, right? And they're making their profit. And then once the actual thing happens, this time as that, right, they did not get added, and then there was that slump. Well, they're the ones that are caused that slump. They're the ones that said, all right, we made our money, let's sell it. They sell the news, right? So once the news comes out, that's usually what happens. So just be aware. It's not necessarily an indication of anything with MicroStrategy. It's just what are the mechanisms that people make money by using the news outlets and things like that. That's just how it works, right?
dude, none of this will matter because 3i Atlas. So, just for the audience, not sure you have here, but there is an interstellar called 3i Atlas. The fucking names that they come up with, right?
Well, it's the third interstellar comet. What is it? That's 3i,
It
right?
is.
Duh,
It is. It is.
duh.
No. So this object is the, as Ramirez says, is the third that they have spotted, and there is a bunch of pictures, right? Why is this one interesting? Is because it's not following the trajectories of others. It's just following its own path, and and it has made the news, right? And basically, it's gonna pass through Mars. It's not gonna crash the Earth, so don't worry about it. But I think that maybe it has some extraterrestrials. So a lot of people are
uh,
actually thinking that it's like a Dead Star, right? Like who knows, right? I mean, it's just because it doesn't follow. NASA is saying that it's a comet, but again, there's a lot of scientists and people like, no, it's not a comet. It's not following a pattern of a comet. So, what's your take there?
So we did mention this, I think, a few weeks back when it first came out, and we talked a little bit about, okay, what's the evidence for, what's the evidence against it actually being either like a UFO or an actual asteroid comet. Well, here's the thing: there's as it gets closer and closer, the scientists are able to gather more and more evidence. So we're seeing more evidence. The thing is, this evidence continues to be a little bit conflicting. So there's some evidence that says, okay, it does look kind of like, okay, now the coma, the tail, it's looking a little bit more normal. But then they might see some other evidence that says, yeah, but the makeup of this thing, there's like the nickel, no iron in there. That doesn't make sense for what we normally see for these things. So there's some Harvard scientists that are saying it's actually a test, kind of like the Turing test. I don't know if you've heard this theory, but they're saying the aliens, the Harvard, let me say, let me
You
not
were
say
all
they,
scientific.
let me say Harvard scientists
Pull
are
your
saying
tinfoil, Ramirez.
that this is a Turing test for humans to see if we're smart enough to figure out that it's not real or that it is a UFO or extraterrestrial or extra extra galaxy galaxial. I don't know what you want to call it, but
Galactic.
extra galactic. Yeah, it's like so. Will we be able to figure out? Will we be able to put these puzzle pieces together? Some other folks are saying that if it is extra, like a UFO or alien civilization or something like that, that they just want to get close enough to be able to do their study. Right? They're like going on a trip to the zoo, essentially, see the animals, see what they're up to, see how they behave. I mean, and they'll just keep on going. So,
The-
lots of interesting things that are going on here, but they're talking about the colors aren't right, the tail's pointing in the wrong direction. It's Here's the thing: I don't think we've seen it like just slow down all of a sudden or make a left turn or a right turn. That would be pretty definitive in saying like, okay, this thing is being controlled by something else. It's not just on a random trajectory here. So we haven't seen that yet. So I don't think we have extraordinary evidence yet. So I think right now I'm still on. It's probably just Comet until it
you're in
makes a
the
right
you're in
turn
the Comet
somewhere
team.
or starts shooting beams at us. Then then it's like, well, okay, but don't look up, right? Like that movie. It's like it's not real until it's real. I don't.
It's October is gonna be this year when it's gonna be the closest in our system, which is gonna pass through Mars. There were a couple of images
Yeah,
that
less
they
than a
were,
month away, yo.
yeah. And let me, because this one is interesting. This I think that I have an image that this one is from the NASA website, right? So it's like nasa.gov, and this is the atlas, and you can see the way where it's gonna pass, right? You see the sun. This is it's far away from us, so don't worry, we will not crash.
They're not gonna grab you, Mando. Don't worry.
Yep. So uh, maybe my hair, man. It's always my hair. So, but yeah, that's it's interesting. I mean, it's always has been fascinating this topic, right?
Yeah, yeah, very true. So we'll keep you up to date. We've got a few weeks. I think as the weeks come by, we'll gather more and more information here. Okay, so I know we talked last time about the Unitree robots and how they were actually, it looked like those the humanoid robot games were just getting started, and it looked like they were actually doing pretty good, right? Well, it turns out they dominated those games. Unitree seems to have been really taking a lead here in the robotics game. uh, you know, they were able to dominate, I think, a lot of those games. I know we showed you guys it boxing, we showed you guys it running and track. They seem to be doing pretty good here.
Yeah, like are you gonna do you have a video?
Uh, Let me see if this one plays here real quick.
Oh shit! It dominated.
You know, if we make our robots, I think we still got a chance here, Mando.
I'm getting FOMO. You know, fear of missing out.
Well, as you can see, yes, the robots are able to stand. The robots are able to walk. I don't know if they're able to kick the ball that well yet in soccer, but you know what? This is the first step. This is the first step, right? It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's like when people are like thinking about Terminator and like, oh shit. I mean, just look at that video.
Yeah, we've got some time, y'all. We've got some time. And by the way, like, you might think like these robots don't remember yet, but I don't know. We see reports like this, like the MMA robot that was created for the fighting league ignores the protocol and turns on UFC boss Dana White.
Dana, 50 G's, Dana.
50 G's. Yeah, I don't think I get. I don't think I can actually get the video here, but yeah, apparently, like, this robot attacked Dana White. That's the thing. They remember, so be careful how you talk to your robot there, because it could turn on you. It could be Terminator. You never know,
I have been
Mondo.
playing with a bit of the robotics the last month to see what is out there, right? So I posted a video, and please, audience, tell us if you guys like those kind of videos too. And when you are programming them, they call them policies. I feel that maybe they create a policy for fighting, and the robot is like, fight.
Right. It's like, "Yeah, this is how you made me. I'm a fighter.
I'm a fighter, bro.
I'm a fighter, not a lover, bro."
And the problem with the Chinese robots is that they are short and they just can like punch your nuts, man.
They're right at that right level. You saw in the picture.
Yeah. And the guy, then is like, oh no, they still need them.
It's like, I can't break them because I invested in them. It's an expensive, you know. Hey, by the way, I know you're working on some stuff. Do you want to talk a little bit more about what you're doing?
Yeah, it's like I'm trying. Usually, when I'm learning something, I try to break it apart. In I don't want to say to do it from scratch. Uh, right now, people are saying the first principles, which probably it is what I'm doing. Trying to see, okay, the materials, the cost, and then break it apart enough until I understand the areas, and that way I can keep moving into two different things. I have been playing with 3D printing for a while since it came out. Right now, there's a bunch of 3D printers, things like that. So I printed the model, but also the next part that I wanted to learn is how the articulations. Because if you notice, like the Unitree, they are pretty good on the hardware, and also they are becoming pretty good in programming them. That's the part that I'm trying to figure out, because back on 10, 15 years ago, you need to program step by step what you wanted the robot to do. But now with AI, you can get help from the AI to they call it reinforced learning, that you can build the algorithm, and it will create, maybe in a simulation, I don't know, 100,000 robots, and it will be able to learn how to stand up. And then with NVIDIA cards like the ones that you have in your house, you are able to just make the GPUs work, and that will teach the algorithm to be able to stand up. Sounds very trivial, but in fact, they call it degrees of freedom. Different robots have different degrees of freedom, which is just the motors and the joints moving in combination. Yeah, that's what I'm learning. I'll post a few videos to see if you guys like it.
How about you give them a teaser? Do you want to show real quick the dog model that you have with the rigging that you set up?
Yeah, so let me see. I have it here close.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you have it physically there.
So maybe for the people that are watching the pod, you can see here. I really like how it starts sounding, right? Like the servos. So this is one, and let me share. Let me see if I can share my screen because uh, sometimes it's kind of hard to. Yeah, I found it. All right. So if you see here, this is kind of an environment where you can add any, I guess, robot, and then I was able to put uh, the model, and also I was able to start adding the different joints to be able to control them, and you can see here that I can start moving them. The next step is, like I said, I need to make the program to be able to learn, to have AI to help me to teach it how to learn, and it's basically by rewards. So, but yeah, I'm learning. All of this is it has been there for a while, but right now it's getting popular, and that's how Unitree and other robot companies are teaching them how to be trained. So there is not that many tools out there. There's only ROS, Mujoko, and Gazebo. Those are kind of the three main big ones. And now like Hugging
Hugging
Face
Face.
also is coming up with their own system, but they are using as well the same ones.
Hmm. So pretty cool. If you're interested, I know Mando's releasing a series of kind of his journey on this, so check that out as well. To close out, we've got one kind of funny story today. I guess I think we've all heard a little bit about kind of the real estate market has just been going through some pain just because of interest rates and things like that. And some guy got pretty creative here with his trying to sell his house. He says, "I'll throw in a Cybertruck for you if you buy the house." What do you think
How they
about that?
how they call it, an auntie, I guess.
A who? An antique?
No, an auntie, like when you're throwing
Oh, up
something.
in the ante, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. So I know apparently, this person's trying to generate some buzz on I guess his home sale, and he's like, "Hey, if you wanted it, I'll throw in the Cybertruck as part of the deal."
We
I,
should look if he sold it to see if it worked, right? Like, no, I don't
I
want
know,
that.
right? I mean, I wouldn't want to just give away a truck. just. I mean, I guess depends how much this house is worth, but yeah, it's kind of interesting there. I have I have Zillow, right, always installed because I'm always looking at different real estate deals, see if anything pops up. And I will tell you, like as of late, you just see a bunch of prices just drop, drop, drop,
They're dropping.
price drop, price drop. Went down by 10K, by 50K, by 80K. Just a lot of people. It seemed like they're reducing prices. I think there's maybe a little bit of anticipation because people are anticipating rates are going to come down a little bit, and so I think a lot of these people, their mortgage rates are coming down. Maybe refi rates are going to come down. So there's a lot of activity that seems to be going on, and I am getting a bunch of calls right now from all these robocallers. People trying to say, Are you selling your house? Are you selling buying a house? Are you selling?" Like it's just nonstop every day now. So like that part's not cool. I do not enjoy that. People cold calling, trying to talk to them because they all ask the same. I say, "Well, make an offer," and they don't have an offer. Well, then you're just wasting my time, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But anyways, this guy is taking it upon himself, trying to do something a little bit different, trying to create a bundle here, make the home a little bit more attractive.
A pack, yes.
Anyways, well, that's all we've got for today. Hopefully, you enjoyed the content. Just remember to like, subscribe, send us a comment. Let us know what you want to see more of, hear more of. We're glad y'all are enjoying the hardware stuff that Mando's doing and sharing with y'all. We like that you guys are still enjoying the Jenny Hoyos video that we've got out there, and we like that y'all continue to support the Bitcoin music videos that we got out there. That's always a fun one. Be sure to share with your friends and keep those subscriptions coming. It really does help the channel. So that's all we got for today. Dale.
Bye.